Hey there YouTube, this is Shrine King and welcome back to King's Court, and we're going to kick off right into another guide, but this time it's for an ST TAC I. For the other ones that don't know what TAC is, it's a dash. TAC is the military term for it. So this is a heavy tank in the Russian line, specifically at tier 9, and it's known as one of the better tanks in the line. And the reason is it has certain attributes that make it kind of interesting in comparison to other tanks. So right away, as always with these guides, and like I said, these guides are not only guides but they're also reviews. I'm gonna tell you the aspects of like pros and cons. So pros for the tank is it has really good armor. 2, it has the capability to split multiple targets when trying to defend against incoming like shots fired at it. It also has a very powerful gun. And that's really that's the biggest gist of it. It's not very slow, but it's not very fast either. So I would say that doesn't really count as a pro or a con. But when you compare to others, it is at least able to maneuver around. And now if we get into cons, so with some heavies, its turn ratio is really slow. The turret doesn't necessarily turn extremely fast. The other part is its lower glacis is a huge weak spot on it, so it makes it to where a lot of people have an easy time as long as they get a hold of that lower glacis. Obviously with heavies, its camo rating's low, and that's really the gist of it for the most part. So now I'm gonna get into the guide section, or I'm sorry, that's actually just more of like the review side of it. Now what I would say is overall for the line, it is a great tank. It is a lot of fun to play. It does make things kind of interesting because of the way that its armor is designed, and it can be a real powerhouse. Not only that, but like me personally, I'm finding that the tier 10 is well worth it and a lot of fun to play. And there are other tanks in the line that are kind of interesting as well, because like you have like the KV3, the KV4, the T150, which I absolutely love the T150 at tier 6. I love the KV1 at tier 5. So the grind in this tank, honestly, it's not so horrible, which is one of the things that I thought was kind of cool with it. Some tanks, especially like the American lines, all of your startup stuff is really rough. Like, it makes the grind pretty rough overall, because usually you have to grind like 50,000 experience just to get a weapon to be able to do anything in a match. So now kind of getting more into the guide of this tank. So as I was mentioning, the armor on this tank is very interesting and unique. So while it doesn't have a lot of armor on the hull, I mean it's only like 120 millimeter armor. It does have, I think, about like 120 or 140 on the side armor, which is strange, right? Most tanks don't have more armor on their sides. There are some that do. But what makes this tank pretty interesting in its design is the fact of the angling on the armor, which makes it to where it can actually bounce a lot of shells. Also, the armor millimeter actually inclines a lot because of the design. So that said, how do you really angle the armor in this tank? Well, a lot of tanks you actually angle at like a 20-degree rule. So it means when facing your target you actually turn about 20 degrees. This tank you actually turn about 40 degrees. You're almost like looking kind of like sideways. And the reason being is that angle actually, because your side armor is thicker, actually provides better armor coverage for you, which is why this tank is very unique in design on being able to split multiple targets. So for example, the IS-7, because of the pike nose, it has a design that makes it very strong against targets directly in front of them. But that means you'll have a lot of problems if any target's like 20 degrees to your left or 30 degrees to your right. This tank, because you can angle in a unique way, you could actually keep good coverage and good armor for all of those things. So you'll see the gun's not necessarily horrible in accuracy. It's pretty decent. I do recommend, even with this gun, do take the time to make sure to aim your shots. The aiming time on it is a little rough, so you do want to make sure to take that time, get those hits in, especially because your gun can do a lot of damage once you get it to that gun. Now, this tank is definitely a brawler. It is. I mean, it can be used as haul down. Don't get me wrong, but because of the gun, you're not really going to be a sniper. So you do need to be somewhere in like medium at max range. So like you're looking at short range to medium range. You don't want to be any farther than that. Now with that said, if you can find, like for example in this city, there are plenty of places to haul down. It's not really hauling down, it's using walls that has holes. So, and this game right here is a perfect example where, you know, I've made sure to go around the flank, I've made sure to push on targets. Here I get kind of screwed, but I mean that happens. But yeah, I mean overall, you do want to play the tank. You want to play the tank smart. You're not always trying to really rush all the time. Kind of try to take a lay of the land. So like if you noticed in the beginning of this fight, I actually was holding back, kind of seeing what was going on, and that kind of let me know, hey, you know, is it clear? Is it not clear? So as you play the tank, it's a heavy. It is definitely a brawler. You can rely on the armor. Make sure you take the time to aim your shots, otherwise you most likely won't penetrate as consistently as you'd like. Yeah, and always assess the map at first, so go like to where the heavies go and assess it before you actually initiate or go farther than that. So again, I hope these guides help you guys. I hope I hope all of this is very helpful for you. And if you're looking at, is it worth it as a line? Now that I've gotten to the tier 10, I absolutely say yes. It is a wonderful line when you're at tier 10. It performs extremely well. There's a lot of people that mention heat rounds, or I'm sorry, premium rounds being a problem for it at tier 10. But honestly, as I've been playing, it doesn't seem to be that way. There's spaced armor on it, so honestly, like heat rounds, you can't really use against it or anything like that. So again, I really hope this is all helpful for you. Please feel free to like, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Let me know if there's particular tanks that you're looking for. If I have them, absolutely I will do a review and guide on them. I'm just working my way through tanks as I'm playing them and grinding for them. So hope you enjoy, and I'll catch you on the next one.